Hello and welcome everybody. This is Miranda's Crafter, and I want to welcome you back to the How to Play Ark series. This is episode number 3. As you can tell, we are moving right along. We're getting there. We're learning how to survive. We've got us a base built. Crazy little box, but it's home. We've got our first tame. This is Harvey over here, our little pteranodon buddy. Level 1. He was basically just an opportunity tame. He was there at the wrong time, so we made him ours. He'll have a better life now, though, trust me. But anyway, let's get into it. This is episode number 3. What we're going to do today is we're going to learn about, some stuff to do with our dinos. We're going to work on building our base. And we're going to work on skilling up and learning how to craft some essential items and probably try to get this parasaur that I saw over here tamed. He's over there somewhere hiding out in the bushes. I think he heard Harvey and decided he better get out of Dodge before he got tamed. But yeah, we're going to work on that. We got an ichthyornis buzzing around bugging us. We're going to put this guy on neutral so that if he gets too close, he's going to attack him. Alright. So let's talk about dino stats and what's important on that and all that kind of stuff. So right now you see we have a level 1 pteranodon. He is our tame. We tamed him last episode. On his menu you can see his little yellow arrow that's pulsing. That means he has a level to apply. So we're going to go into his inventory and give him a level. He also, you can see his health meter, his stamina meter, his food meter, and his weight. The dinos have individual weights that they can carry. And when it's a dino that has a saddle that you can ride, when you get on the dino, your weight is added to that dino as well. So keep that in mind, because you can easily cause a dino to be overweight and then they can't move, and then when you jump on them to escape and something's attacking you, you're arked because you can't move and you just stand there and get attacked and die, and yeah, it can get ugly. One of the many ways Ark can kill you. Right now it shows who tamed it. Miranda's Crafter, that's me. Well, actually that's the tribe. And then it tells the gender. That's going to be important later when you start to think about breeding, because you're obviously, to breed, you're going to need a male and a female. It tells the aggression state of the dino. It's in neutral right now, which means that it's just chilling, but if it gets attacked, it will defend itself. Whether or not that will lead to its death or not, it just depends on what attacks it and how strong it is. I have it on neutral right now because there's this bird called an ichthyornis over there, and they're very aggravating, and I want to get it killed. So whenever it attacks this thing, I'm hoping it can kill it. Right now it has 2 levels to apply. For pteranodon that you're trying to... So let me talk about the levels and what's important. The stats and what's important. If you have a dino that you're trying to make a tank, that you're trying to be able to survive, then the most important things you will do is raise its health and its stamina. And those would be the things that you would focus on. Another way that you can cause a dino to be a lot stronger is by applying a saddle to it. Saddles have an armor stat on them that will give the dino better armor, which will cause it to be able to take less damage from hits. We don't have the ability to make a saddle for our pteranodon yet, because if we search it, let's look. You see pteranodon saddle is level 38 and we're like level 19 or 20 right now, so we're not quite there. But when you put a saddle on your dino, that increases their armor and helps them survive better. When you start to hit supply drops and get loot from the supply drops, sometimes you will get blueprints that can allow you to make higher quality saddles than what you initially can make. because the saddles that you initially can make in your crafting bench, I don't have one unlocked yet to be able to show you, but they'll be a primitive level. You can get Journeyman, you can get Mastercraft, you can get Ascendant. The highest level version that you can create if you have the blueprint for it is an Ascendant saddle, and that goes along with weapons, armor as well. So you can definitely increase the survivability of your dino by putting an Ascendant saddle on them. Now this slot over here is just a costume for your dinos. It just changes their appearance, but it doesn't do anything for them statistically. It just makes them look a different way, look cooler, look funny, look scary, look whatever, you know. Those are some of the things that you acquire, like I had in my inventory when I first started the game. Those skins that I threw on the ground, you acquire from doing achievements and things like that. So for this one though, I'm not worried about this guy being a tank, although I will put some points into health at some point, because on just the odd chance that it does get attacked while we're out and adventuring, I want it to be able to survive. But for a pteranodon, one of the most important stats are stamina, because they historically don't have a huge amount of stamina, and you want to use them as a flyer to get you from point A to point B. And it's super annoying when a flyer runs out of stamina. It has to land on the ground and recuperate its stamina before it can go on. So 150 stamina is really not that much for a flyer to start off with, but we have to remember this dino was level 1 when we tamed it. So therefore it's going to be as weak as they come, really. The stats that you get will go up as you apply levels. So let's put a level into stamina, if I can find my cursor here. And let's see how much it takes it up. Right now it's 150, the base. 1 point puts it into 156. 2 points, 162. So it's getting better. And I also want to be conscious of weight, because for me to fly on this thing, it's going to have to carry me and what I've got in my inventory. So for this pteranodon that I'm just going to be using for utility, nothing else. I'm not going to be using this thing to tank bosses or fight Rexes, or I'm just using it to get around. This is going to be my daily driver for right now as far as a flyer, until I get a better one. So what is going to be most important for me is stamina and weight. So I put 2 points into stamina. And now I'm going to put 1 into weight. Where is my cursor? Oh my god. Playing on a controller can be annoying sometimes, I'm not going to lie. Okay, so the weight went up to 123. So we've applied 3 levels to it. It was level 1, now it's level 4. So he's getting stronger. Now, one thing you will have to be aware of though, and there's another one right there. One thing you will have to be aware of though is that they do need to eat. So you will need to put meat in its inventory, or in a thing called a feeding trough, which you can place at your base. And I gotta see what level this is. This is if I can catch it, I'm so slow right now. This is a female level 3. Wow, that would be perfect to be able to have right now. So let me go ahead and try to knock this thing out. This is an opportunity tame right here. Now when you're trying to knock something out, you don't want to hit it. After you've knocked it out, you try not to hit it anymore, because if you continue to do damage to it, you will lower what's called the taming effectiveness, and you will also do damage to it and possibly kill it. You don't want that. You see on the health bar there how much damage I did to it while I was beating on it. You know, so this is, I mean, this is perfect. Right here for our series, we got a male and a female that landed right at our base in our front yard. This is what you call an opportunity tame right here. At the start, we're just trying to get somewhere, you know. But now we have a mating pair of pteranodons that we can start to raise babies with whenever we get to the point that we want to talk about, you know, making babies. So this is super cool. But anyway, I gotta get some meat and put in this thing's inventory so it can tame up. And then we'll finish our discussion that we were having about feeding dinos. Oh shoot, I don't have any raw meat. So I'm gonna need to get some raw meat real fast. What I need to do though is I need to unload my inventory because I'm way too heavy. And I can't really do that because everything I'm carrying, the box is already full. So sadly, I'm going to dump a stack of wood because I need to be able to go get some meat real fast because this thing's going to need meat here in a few minutes. So I'm going to check my surroundings before I leave, make sure nothing dangerous is around and I don't see anything. So let's go kill this little passive dino over here called a lystrosaurus. I hate to do this, honestly, because I kind of wanted to save this one to tame as well because it has a unique feature that I would like to show you. So let's look around real quick to see if there's just anything else nearby. And I want to save this one too because that's something I'd like for us to tame together. A trike I'm not brave enough to attack at this point. There's a dodo right over there. And another lystrosaur. Cool. So let's get some meat and some hide from these guys. Okay, let's get some meat. That's what we're worried about now, so we'll pull out our pick. Okay, we're going to attack these dodos. Actually, we're just going to attack this one because we need meat, and that other one would just give us birthday cake, whatever that's for. So we're going to just leave him alone because he's not worth the trouble. You see that big old dude? That's a brontosaurus. Those are really cool. Let's increase the gamma so we can see a little better. Okay, so we now have some meat for our taming process. And that guy's stuck. So here in a little bit, if we get brave enough to tame a trike, we might try to tame that guy. See what happens. Ooh, another dodo. Let's get its hide while we're at it. I think we got enough meat, so now let's focus on getting some hide. Okay, let's see what level this one is. Level 18, that'll be okay. We'll do that one here in a minute. Hopefully that ichthyosaurus won't attack my tame. That would be bad if it did. Okay, it's going to attack my pteranodon and they're going to fight now. Because he was in neutral, it killed him. Sweet. So my boy Harvey wrecked him. And his body is down here somewhere. Let's get its hide off of it. Nice. So now we got rid of that ichthyosaurus. And let's get this meat in this inventory. Okay, it was ready to do a feeding, so it did one. So it did one feeding. Okay, now this one has some taming effectiveness. For whatever reason, the level 1 that we tamed, its taming effectiveness was 0. Maybe because I hit it too many times when I was taming it and I took its taming effectiveness down to 0. But when you get to be good at taming, you'll get to where you can knock stuff out with higher quality items such as tranquilizer darts and all that, and you'll end up having a taming effectiveness of like 100%. And as long as you feed that dino the things that it likes really well while it's in the taming process, the taming effectiveness won't drop. And I need to hurry up and get some berries in that thing. About let it wake up. The taming effectiveness won't drop a whole lot. The taming effectiveness, if it's high, whenever the dino tames, will allow it to have some extra levels. Kind of like a bonus for, you know, doing a good job taming. Let's knock this thing back out a little bit. So right now it says taming effectiveness of 83%. We're giving it its food that it likes, raw meat, and it's going to give us an additional level when we tame it if nothing else happens to it between now and then. It's only got one more feeding, so hopefully it'll be okay. If it were to get attacked, it would go down, and that's possibly what happened to it. It possibly got hit by that Ichthyornis while we were going and getting some meat. I didn't see it, so I don't know for sure, but it's either that or I hit it one too many times after it passed out and I took the taming effectiveness down. So you have to be really careful when you're knocking something out that you only hit it just enough to knock it out and don't just keep beating on it, because if you keep beating on it, you'll bring its taming effectiveness down and you'll lose some additional levels that you would have got. These are over and above its level caps, so these are really important, because if this thing were able to be a max level of 100 based on the server stats and the level of the dino when you tamed it, now it will get the ability to be 101, and that's how that extra levels from taming effectiveness work out. You're basically making a better dino by taming it properly, is the mindset behind it, I think. Okay, so it's got enough berries in its torpor on its bar to tame itself out all the way. So we'll go ahead and let that one finish. Oh, and there it was. So this one's a girl, so we're going to name it Betty. And Betty and Harvey are now going to be a thing. They're going to be a pair. So I'm going to have it follow me. I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to tell it to stop. Now you'll see that now that they're within range of each other, you see those hearts above its name? That means that this one is interested in that one, and they now have what's called a mate boost. That heart will give it an additional damage capability and a reduction of damage, I think, is how that mate boost works. Basically, if you have a mate boosted pair and you fight something, those pair will do more damage and take less damage in the process because they're in love. So that's cool. We know that these two can breed now as well. Because they have the hearts, we know we have a male and a female. So now we have two pteranodons. We can't put saddles on them yet, but we can just let them sit here and level. So I'm going to go ahead and put some meat in its inventory. I'm going to put 10 pieces in this one and 10 pieces in this one. That way they can be eating and keeping their food stat up, because if they don't eat, their food stat will eventually go down to the point that they will die. If their food stat, which this one is at 1287 right now, it goes down like 1 point every 5 minutes or something like that. It doesn't sound like much, but eventually it will take it down so far that if you're not paying attention or if you're not logged on and it's rendered because somebody's around your base or something, it could cause your dinos to die. So the best thing to do is to have food in their inventory, but the ultimate best thing to do is to craft what's called a feeding trough and place that down. And then you can place their food that they eat inside the feeding trough, and they'll eat from it within a certain range of the feeding trough, and that's the way to keep them alive. Let's see if we can actually make one right now. The feeding trough is level 18. There it is right there. So we're going to go ahead and make a feeding trough if we can. Let's see what we need. We need 8 metal, thatch, fiber, and wood. We're going to have to buy the engram. Now we can say, put food for your nearby pets in this, and they'll automatically eat it when hungry. A feeding trough is a structure, so when we build it, it'll have to be placed on the floor or on the ground somewhere. Then within a big range, and feeding troughs have a big range, so the dinos will eat from it from quite a ways away. So let's go ahead and see how much metal we have, because we need 8 metal to build this thing. We have 6. So let's get some more metal. Also, let's eat our berries. And let's eat a piece of meat. Because it said that I was hungry. I'm going to put both dinos on neutral. And I'm going to tell both dinos to stop. That way they're not following me. So they'll stay in place unless they're attacked, and then they'll defend themselves. Normally I don't have my dinos on neutral because I don't want them to get engaged in a fight, because I can usually protect them by just having them inside my base. But right now I don't really have the luxury of having them inside my base, so I'm going to go ahead and just put them on neutral so that they can fend for themselves. Alright, so now we have 3 metal, so we should have enough metal. Let's see if we have enough of the rest of the resources to build it. Getting a feeding trough down for yourself at this point is a big milestone for you. It will allow you to feed your dinos and not have to care for them, you know, every little need all the time. Okay, so I took those items out of my inventory, and now I'm going to craft a feeding trough. This is a pretty big craft too, so it might even give us a level. Yeah, we're not far enough away to get a level yet, but we'll go ahead and put our graphic down to place the feeding trough down, and you can place it inside your building. I'm going to go ahead and place this one outside the building just so that I can add to the ambiance of the area. Okay, now we have a feeding trough. Now, I can take the meat that they eat and I can put it inside the feeding trough. And now once they eat the meat that's in their inventory, they'll draw from the feeding trough itself. So I'm going to go ahead and take the meat out of their inventory and put it in the feeding trough, because this stuff has a spoil rate, and the spoil rate inside the feeding trough is way higher than if it was in their inventory. So there we go, we got 41 pieces. It says put food for your nearby pets in this and they'll automatically eat it when hungry. It has a health of 20,000 or 2,000, so it has hit points and it can be destroyed just like any other structure. So right now you have a certain amount of spots that you can put stacks of items in. We can put berries in there, we can put meat in there, we can put anything that any dino eats can go in a feeding trough. So even if you have some wild exotic dinos like a magmasaur that eats stone or metal or whatever, it can go in the feeding trough as well to feed it. And the dino will automatically take the kind of food that it likes the most. I'm going to go ahead and put my spoiled meat inside here too right now, because as you can see in my inventory it has a spoil timer of a little over 12 minutes. If I put it in the feeding trough, it now has a spoil timer of 49 minutes. So the spoil timer is greatly increased in the feeding trough as well. And you can see it looks like it's got food and junk and bits and guts in there now for the dinos to eat. It's really cool. Okay, so one thing you want to notice now that you'll need to understand what it means and be aware of so that you know that your dinos are getting fed is you'll look at the little heart icon that's above this dino. Now it's changed and it shows a little miniature feeding trough and the heart on there. So what that means is this dino is mate boosted because it's in love with this one over here, but they also have the little feeding trough over them, which means that they're actually in range of the feeding trough, and when they're hungry they'll draw food out of it and eat it magically through the airwaves. So that's real cool. So let's go ahead and do something else real quick. Let's get some berries, and we'll put some berries in the feeding trough too so that you can see all the kinds of stuff that you can put in there. I need some more fiber anyway, so this is a good gathering idea. I hear a dodo somewhere. There it is. That's one of those party dodos. I'm going to go ahead and kill it so that something more useful will spawn, and so also that I can get some XP for killing it. If you hear a constant clicking, That noise right there, that's my controller. I'm sorry that that noise comes through on the microphone, but I have a bi-directional mic, so it shouldn't pick it up, but for some reason it does anyway. Okay. So we've harvested some plants, we've got some fiber, and we've got some berries. So one of the reasons why I was harvesting those berries is because I was getting the components we need for our next little taming adventure. And let's put those. So I'm taking the berries off of my hotbar now because I'm graduated. I am now in the Survivor Club, and I eat more important things than berries now. I eat cooked meat. So you can see in my inventory I have that stack of cooked meat down there. Watch what happens to my food stat when I eat one. My food stat goes way up. Cooked meat also has the ability to heal you as well. So if you eat one and your health is low, you'll regain health as well. So the cooked meat does a lot better than berries. It's just a little harder to process because you have to kill an animal, harvest an animal, and then cook the meat. But it's not that big of a deal, really. I mean, it's something that you do. So watch, when I grab this stack, it will go into my inventory where I already have it. And it added to that one that I had. And now I have 48 cooked meat. So let's get this stuff in there. Let's drop off our inventory a little bit so that we can move around a little easier. Okay, so we unloaded everything we could, and in a minute we'll make some better storage to where we can store more items. But right now I want to do another little quick opportunity tame. So we're going to tame a dino called a lystrosaurus, and it's a little bitty thing, and it's not able to be ridden, but it has another use that's very cool. This is like the little scholar dino. This is a wild male lystrosaurus, level 18. What he does is he's like a little puppy dog. When you pet him after he's tamed, he will cause the experience gain rate of all the dinosaurs around him in his radius to increase so that they gain experience faster. This can be very helpful in leveling up your dinos. The way you tame him is called a passive tame. And what he wants is he wants those purple berries that are in my hotbar down there, the Mejo berries. They go in the last slot in my inventory, and it says these wild berries grow mostly on mountains. While not tasty on its own, its juices improve almost every meal. Those right there are a favorite of many dinos, and this Lystrosaur is one of them. You have to get close, and it'll give you the prompt to feed Mejoberry to tame. So I fed it one, and now you can see his taming is started, and he's at 20%. His taming effectiveness is 99%, so you can see when he gets tamed, he's going to get an extra 8 levels on account of that. Now, it just takes a minute for a passive tame to want to eat again, so you just got to kind of have to follow it around until it says it's ready to eat. And then you give it another one, and the taming will go up, probably to like 40%. Okay, here we go. So now its taming effectiveness went up to about 40, or its taming bar went up to about 40%. Taming effectiveness stayed the same because we're giving it its preferred food, so it's happy with this whole process. And he just did a poop. So I gotta wait till he's hungry again. And with some dinos, you can use the collision to kind of keep them where you want them. I'm standing in front of this and causing him to run into me, and I'm kind of corralling him where I want him to be. I'm going to feed him another one. And we're almost at 60%. So we'll just need like 3 more to get him. Ooh, and there's our parasaur we were looking at earlier. You will be ours. We're going to get this guy, and then we're going to walk him back to the base and cause him to start helping our pteranodons level up faster, so that by the time we're able to make a saddle, they'll be a decent level. Okay. Probably going to need 2 more tamings, and it will be ours. So that'll make 3 dinosaurs that we've tamed up in just a short amount of time here. Like I said, these are opportunity tames because they're right here where we're at, and they're easy low levels, and they will actually help us advance. So we're going to pay attention to what's around us. Now when you get more advanced, you'll be going to look for max level dinos, and that's not really an opportunity tame because you're hunting for a certain level range, and it may take you a while to find the one you want, type of thing. But this is a good start to get us started. So we're going to need to tame 1. We'll put 1 more berry in it, and then it'll be ours. And it'll have 8 plus levels, so it'll be 18 plus 8, so it'll be 29 when it tames out, which will be decent. Okay, so we got it. So we're going to name this one. I didn't see whether it was a girl or a boy. It's a boy. We're going to name it boy. We're going to name it Anakin. Okay, now we want Anakin to be on passive because we don't want him fighting, because he is not a fighter. He's a scholar, not a fighter. So we're gonna make him follow us. So you go to behavior settings and then enable follow. You can also change the distance at which it will follow you. I'm going to put it on low so that it stays close by, and then we're going to walk to the base, and we're going to walk it back to our base. So here he comes. Isn't he cute? Look around and see what's going on around us. So we're going to get him like right in this area right here is where we want him to end up. So when he gets right about where we want him, we'll tell him to stop. And I'll hold the command that I can have it ready. Okay, so close enough. So now he has a certain range that he will help dinos level up, and it's somewhere like about this far away in a circle around himself. So as long as your dinos are within his radius, he will cause them to level up faster. So when you do the pet command, so when you come up to him and you look at him, you can see he wants to be petted. If you push Y and you'll watch Harvey, he'll get a little indicator that shows that he's leveling up faster. Okay, so we've got him petted, and well, shoot, maybe Harvey is too far away. Oh, there's another one. What's this? Oh crap, I saw a raptor over there too. Okay, so I'm hoping that this raptor that I saw is not going to wreck us, because we're really vulnerable right now. We're out in the open, and he is getting dangerously close. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this guy follow me and get him closer so that he will actually start making this dino level up. Okay, so I got him closer, so now you see he got the arrow on him saying that his experience is going up by being within this thing's range. But I've got another problem, because that raptor that I saw over there is gonna cause us fits if we don't do something about it. I can't kill it right now, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop off my gear. I need to make another box right now. I don't have enough storage space. Just for right now, let me create another box real quick. I'm going to drop off my gear, and I'm going to go draw this raptor away with the intention of letting it kill me but also so that I can get it away from our base. And I don't want to lose all my stuff, so I'm going to take it off, because I'm not going to survive this altercation with this raptor anyway, so I'm just going to plan on dying. And I'm going to get rid of my tools and my food and my berries. Whoops. So now I'm naked again. Oh, and I can't get my pick in there because I'm short of storage space. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I am going to close my door. And I am going to take one for the team. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to draw this raptor away. He's somewhere around here. I'm going to make him aggro me. And then there he is. I see him. I'm going to make him aggro me. And then I'm going to draw him away from us. So that we have a long... Oh, there's two of them. Okay, so let me get my stamina back. There are two of them. So I want to get as close as I can before I start to run. That way I have the longest amount of run time before I run out of stamina again. Okay, they've seen me. I want to try to weave in and out of trees if possible. And the farther away I get them things from where we're at, the better. So I drug them quite a ways away. And you can see right now that now on the map, this is good that we do this because now we can show you this mechanic. We have our base, our bed, show up on the map now. So now this is one of the spawnable locations that we can actually use to come back into the game. And this is why it's important to have a bed, because I'll spawn inside my bed, inside my house. This arrow right here, X right here, marks the spot where I actually died. So you can see I ran down the coastline a little bit and drug it away. So we're going to have to keep our eyes open because that's really not far enough away from my taste. So I may actually go back and do this again and drag it farther on up into here so that I'm more comfortable that it's farther away from us. Because until I can get to the point to where I can make a saddle for our pteranodons, we can't really get them out of harm's way. I would like to have them sitting on top of my house so that they would be away from the raptors and they couldn't attack them, but until I get a saddle on them, I can't do that. Now you see I selected the bed and I came back at this location on my bed. Now beds have a cooldown, which means that you can only spawn in them once every 5 minutes. So you can see right now my bed is on cooldown. If I had multiple tribe members and we only had one bed, they would have to wait 4.5 more minutes to be able to spawn into our base. So it's whenever you have more than one person, and just in general, it's smart to have more than one bed so that you don't get stuck waiting on cooldown timers. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to run back down there and drag them just a little bit farther away so that we can have just a little bit more of a safety net. Some people might look at this tactic as like cheating or something, but I don't really see it as cheating because we're using the game mechanics to, help us survive. Running from dinos is something that you're gonna do in Ark, so it's not like we're like breaking the game by doing this. You can see my green beacon where my corpse is. If I was trying to get back to my loot, I would go back to that and check my bag and get my stuff, like my armor and my weapons. It would all be in my death bag that would be there on the ground. But I didn't have anything in my inventory because I purposefully took my inventory off before I did this. So there's no real reason for me to go to my death bag. So I'm just going to leave it there because I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is where did those raptors go? That's what I want to know because I'm trying to get them farther away. I'm not sure where they're at, honestly. So let's go ahead and we'll look at our bag bins. We're right here and we don't see them anywhere. See, there's nothing in my death bag so there's really no reason for me to pick it up. So where did those raptors go? Well, obviously they went back down this way. So let's see just how far away they did go. There they are. Okay, so let's drag them farther to get my stamina built back up. Okay, they're going after a parasaur right now. And that's good. They're going the right direction. Just keep on going that way. This guy's coming after me. Okay, so I drug him quite a ways away now. So I feel pretty good about it. You can see that the marker moved quite a ways away from where we were, so they're pretty far up the coastline now, so I think we'll be safe for a little bit. You can see my bed is still on cooldown. I forgot about that, so now we're going to have to sit here and wait. You can see what killed you and what level it was in case you didn't get to look at its name and level while you were fighting it or whatever. You can kind of get an idea on what it was that did you in. A raptor level 12 is not really that big a deal, but you saw that they like to pack up. So that's what makes them extra dangerous, because where there's one, there'll usually be three. And three of those, varying levels from anything to 1 to 150, can be pretty stout at this level of play. Right now I don't have the ability to fight 3 raptors off. I mean, I could. If I had some bolas, I could bola them and stun, basically root them in place, and I could finish them off with a spear or something, but there's 3 of them, and the odds are of me bolaing all 3 and getting them killed between trying to bola them and trying to stay alive and trying to do everything else are not very high at this stage. I don't have very good armor on, so yeah, that's not something that's probably going to be doable right now. Okay, so my bed timer has expired now, the cooldown, and now I can select the bed and I can respawn at my bed again. So now I'm not going to worry about the raptors anymore for a while unless they show back up. This little excursion has cost us build time, so we want to be able to get our gear back on. And let's get our gear. Let's get our food. Let's get our measure berries. Let's get our spears and our harvesting tools. Let's get this club just in case. Go ahead and take all that. And then we'll take this club and our pick. And take some of our resources because we are going to try to build more thatch things. So right now we are checking to make sure our dinos are alive. The pet buff has wore off, so now you can pet it again. And we got Harvey leveling up. I can't really get Betty over here to have her level up, so we'll just leave it there for now. I see a Dillo off in the distance. That's a dino that might try to attack us. Anyway, let's quit worrying about that. Let's focus on building now. We need to get some more creature comforts built up, like preserving bins and smithies and refining forges and all that kind of things, so that we can do all the crafts and do all the things. I'm going to put my club in my inventory just in case we see something we want to tame. Put my food. Save my last spot for my taming berries, because eventually we're going to want to tame that parasaur we saw, and that likes berries too. Measure berries is a good one to tame parasaur with. Okay, so now let's dump this other club off. We'll repair it first so that it's fully repaired. We're not going to need stone, we're not going to need flint, and we're not going to need metal for thatch. I don't think we need fiber either. Let's look real quick. Fiber, thatch, wood is what we do need. So let's get rid of everything that's not fiber, thatch, or wood. Actually, let's repair our club and our pick real quick before we go out. Okay, so now our clubs and our picks are fully repaired. We got gear. Let's go get some resources and we'll make some more thatch. We need to make some walls and some ceilings, and then we will have it completely enclosed. So in the process of gathering, you get XP. I just got enough to get another level just then. Okay, got myself some more flint. And now you can see how I'm starting to really wreck the landscape around me. I'm affecting the environment by harvesting all the resources. It has one cool side effect though, and that's that you can see better. Once you clear out the bushes and the trees, you can see farther and see those nasty things sneaking up on you. So that's a plus, I guess. It's definitely deforestation in action though. Come on, give me that bush. Okay, I can't get that bush, so I'm going to hit this tree and get it out of the way. And then I should be able to get the bush. There we go. The tree was kind of in the middle of the bush. Okay. So we've got some resources now. We're going to pick up some stuff on the way home. Stone. Then we're going to watch our back. Apply our level. Health, stamina, and weight are pretty much all we're concerned about right now. I'm going to go ahead and put it in weight. And then let's craft some walls. I don't remember how many I needed to finish off the 2-story of the building. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 walls to finish off the walling of the building. So I've got 1, so I need 6 more. Okay, that'll be that. And then we can start to make some ceilings. I'll need quite a few ceilings, so I'm just going to go ahead and make as many as I can make. And that's going to be 10. That should be enough. So I'm going to let this stuff craft, and I should probably get a level from this. You can see my XP bar is going up as I craft things. I don't know if I'll actually get a level or not, because these thatch structures don't give a whole lot of XP. They give some, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take us all the way to 21. But we're getting there. We're level 20. We're not doing too bad considering the fact that we didn't do a note run or anything like that. Let's eat a piece of meat. Let's place some walls so we can get rid of some weight. Your little placement graphic has to be green. or else it won't let you put the item down. Okay, so now let's try some seedlings. We're going to get that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and this one, and that one. So in case we're making any more, let's stop it. No, we're already made them all. Okay, so 2 seedlings we couldn't use. Let's just be creative and throw one out here for a little eave over our front door. I'm going to show you a little trick here about how to get the command on it when it's out of reach. So sometimes if something's out of reach and you're wanting to demolish it, you can't see the command come up. You can get under it and jump and get close enough to it that you can then get the command to come up. I'm going to demolish this just for the resources because I made one too many. Okay, so this lystrosaurus needs petted again. And Harvey's doing pretty good. He's getting some good levels. He's got 2. Let's put him in some stamina and stamina. Let's put our excess berries in the trough. See if Betty's got a level. Yep. She's got 3. Do stamina, stamina, and 1 weight. So she's level 7 and Harvey's level 6. Anakin needs a level probably. He eats berries, so he's eating berries out of the trough. He doesn't really need anything in stats, really, because he's not going to fight. He's not going to harvest resources. He's just going to stand in my base and help me level up other dinos. So about the only thing that would really be useful for Anakin would be to have extra health or to have extra food stat. That way he doesn't die as easily. If the base gets raided by a mean dino, he has more health and can survive. Or if the feeding trough were to get destroyed or run out of food, he could survive longer by having an increased food stat. Excuse me. He's not really for anything else, so there's really no point in leveling his oxygen or leveling his stamina or weight, because he's not really going to do anything else other than just stand here and help me level up the dinos. Now I appreciate his service because he does a good job at that, so we're just going to let him do his thing. Let's see if I can get Betty a little closer. Nope, she went right back to where she was at. Oh, but she is close enough now to get the buff from the lystrosaurus, so let's put him a little bit more right in the middle. When you put them in follow, you got to get far enough away from them to realize that they miss you. Boom. Let's put him right in the middle there. So now when I pet him, he'll help both of those level up. You see the arrow on both of them? Now they're both getting the education buff from him. And there's a Dillo coming this way. He's going to cause trouble. So let's go over here and let's see what level he is. He is a level... I didn't get to see it in time. Let's see if we can kill him. Level 9. It shouldn't be impossible to kill. We're getting some strength built up. Oh, and we got him. We got him, boys. I could have tamed him, honestly, but we don't really have enough time in this episode to take on another tame right now. So what we'll do is we'll just get rid of him, and we'll eliminate the threat, and we'll take some resources off of him. We now have some more hide and some more raw meat, which is very important. Hide is very important at this stage in the game. when you get to the place that you can make a saddle here in a little bit, you'll be needing hide and chitin and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's very important. Okay, so we put our berries and our meat in there. That's all that junk that I had. Okay. I don't want to have my stuff spread out everywhere, so I want to keep like stacks with like stacks. Like I had a stack of hide in that box and in this box, so now I'm going to put them together. Now I have one stack. Picky, I know, but you'll quickly learn that Ark turns into an inventory management game pretty fast. So yeah, that's one of the things you'll have to come to grips with, is learning how to manage your inventory. So this episode has went 55 minutes. This is episode number 3. I don't want it to go too much longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab some extra resources real quick. And then I'm going to cut this one off for the day. So we've made it quite a ways in our journey so far. We've started as a brand new survivor. We learned the basics of our stats and what they're about, and how to navigate the character screen and how to navigate your inventory. Then we went into learning about how to level and how to use explorer notes, how to harvest resources, how to stay alive at a basic level. Then in this video, and we did a little bit of taming on the second video. In this video, we have learned some more taming techniques and how to survive some more dangerous situations, like with the raptors, dragging them off, and getting rid of the threats like that dillo. And so we're getting stronger. We're getting to a place to where we're starting to be established with a base and some tames and some inventory, so we're getting to a place where we're becoming stronger survivors. Now, keep this in mind. Ark is a very cruel mistress and can wreck you at any moment. So at any time, we could lose all these dinos and all this stuff. I mean, it could happen. Only the most experienced players can go through a playthrough and have dinos and not have their dinos get killed and stuff like that. It's just something that happens, and this graphic is really cool. When you pet this thing, it does a flip. Or it normally does. So it's just, getting arked is just going to happen, so you just got to get ready for it. But when you get to the point that you get high-level dinos and some better armor and things like that, you will get to where you can survive no matter what. Oh, we haven't even talked about fish yet. We'll get those next episode. Got us some more harder to get resources right there. Got to level up for it. But anyway, we're getting somewhere. Next episode, we're going to tame that parasaur that's over there. Let's put this one into health. Survive a little bit. So we're level 21 right now. We're getting access to some better engrams. We're definitely getting somewhere. Here's our little dino family we have going. The rain is not what I expected in my closing shot. So survivors, we've learned a lot of techniques and we're getting stronger. If this content has been interesting and has taught you anything, then please do me the favor and subscribe and share it around to your friends. Let's grow our community, and I want to hear your comments in the comments section below about what you think can make this series better, what you see that I've done that you disagree with, better techniques and tips you can give me. I'm ready to learn. So this is Miranda's Crafter, and I just want to tell you thank you for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in episode 4, which will be the next one. Thank you for your time.